Here are this week's sneaker releases and whether they're hype or dead. What's going on, guys? It's Picsoleated, and like any other week, we have a chock full of sneaker releases. We might be going back into a full lockdown here in Canada, at least in parts of Canada, especially in the part that I'm in. It may be looking a little gloomy, especially with the first snowfall, at least in my area as well. That doesn't mean there isn't a lot to look forward to. The sneaker industry has not slowed down one bit. So we have a lot to cover and look forward to. Of course, where there's sneaker releases, there are a lot more sneaker leaks. The Tommy Texters and Larry Loudmouths of the industry love to drop that info on us, and I know I missed last week's releases, my bad, I had a busy week, but that just means we have an extra juicy list of leaks this week. So let's get into it. Now before we get into it, make sure to hit that like button. If you happen to enjoy the video at any point, make sure to hit the subscribe button for more videos. It helps the channel out a lot. And make sure to hit the noti bell to join Noti Gang and so you don't miss out on future videos. Alright, now let's get into these sneaker leaks. Now this first leak isn't technically a leak. You know I like to throw those curveballs at y'all once in a while. It's an official Spring 2021 release by Jordan Brand. Now obviously this isn't all of their Spring 2021 releases, I'm sure they have a few surprises hidden under their sleeves, but again I'm sure most if not all of those surprises will be leaked well before their release dates. Now there are quite a few shoes on this release calendar that are insane, sick colorways and silhouettes, but I'm gonna focus on a handful that I think are the cream of the crop, at least for me. So we have 3 Jordan 1s, and the best one in my opinion is unquestionably this University Blue Jordan 1. Of course we've got the UNC Jordan 1s before, we also got the Obsidians, which while aren't the same colorway at all, they have a similar color on there. These however just look so clean with the black swoosh and the black ankle underlay. It's pretty much the Chicago color blocking with the University Blue, and it's fire. Next we have 5 pairs of Air Jordan 3s, 4s, and 5s. And out of them I really only like 2 of them, and both of those are Jordan 4s. Of course, me being me, I love the Jordan 4s, but the UNC Blue Jordan 4s just go so hard, and the mesh bread 4s are so unique. I can't wait to see how they feel on feet. The rest are nice colorways, but I've never been a 3s or 5s guy, and the 4s are what really started my sneaker journey. That's why they have a special place in my heart. But I don't know what's got into Jordan Brand's mind, but they're going off with these UNC colorways. Next up we have yet another pair of Jordan 1s, and let me inform you ahead of time, there are going to be a lot of Jordan 1s on this leak list. Full disclosure, don't be surprised. This pair is called the Jordan 1 High Seafoam. Now I'm not sure if this image is an official image or if it's a mock-up. It looks more like a mock-up to me, but these kind of remind me of the Turbo Greens if they were made with regular Jordan 1 leather and not suede. They have a similar color tone with the added orange hits. Of course they're not the exact same tone, but that's what they remind me of. These are nice. Next up we have another Jordan 1. I wasn't joking when I said we had a lot of them coming up. This time though it is a mid, and I know it's gonna turn off some people to this shoe, but I'd say give it a chance. This is the Jordan 1 Mid Carbon Fiber, and as much as I don't typically like shoes that are this plain, I really love what they did with the carbon fiber design running through the shoe. Of course without having them in hand I can't confirm whether the carbon fiber is real or if it's just a design running through the leather, but it looks sick nonetheless. I'm not too particular on the colorway or the height of the mid in general. I know I asked you guys to give this thing a chance and I'm already disowning it because it's a mid. I'm a hypocrite, but I love the idea and execution. Now I don't know whether people are going to think these are hype and eat them up right away, but my guess is they'll be easy to get. Next up we have yet another, you got it, Jordan 1. This time it is a true Jordan 1 High. You can exhale, relax, breathe out. Not for long though, because they are the Air Jordan 1 High Pollen. For all you B haters out there, I know you're getting kind of grossed out right now. Maybe you're thinking back to all the times a B decided to invade your personal space, or all those times you tried to juke out of those B mosh pits, or all those hundreds of times that a B could have stung you but they didn't, and it's leaving a bad impression on you for these sneakers. I get it. The theme of these shoes is not my favorite either, and based on this mock-up it kind of looks like the yellow portions are gonna be made of satin. Of course this could just be a flaw of the mock-up, or it could actually be what it's made of. See what I did there? Whatever the case may be, these do remind me of the Wu-Tang Dunks, so I will be trying for a pair. These are rumored to be slated for release in fall 2021, and they'll 100% be hype. Next, we have leaked photos of the upcoming Supreme Nike SB collaboration. We have photos of one of the pairs in the collection, and that pair is the Mean Green SB Dunk. Now, we all know Dunks are hype right now, and everyone's gonna snag them. Dunks are a classic pair of Nike shoes, and with the new generation of sneakerheads finally acquainted and educated about Dunks, they're not going anywhere anytime soon. A lot of people seem to think that sneakers run on trends, and once that trend bounces, so does the silhouette that came with it. Of course, this is true to some degree. Once a company releases too many of a trending shoe for a long period of time, consumer fatigue is bound to set in. You can only enjoy seeing the same thing so many times before you're tired of it. And this stands for classic Nike shoes too, the Jordan 1s, Dunks, Air Forces, whatever the case may be, none of them are immune to this. These are all still silhouettes with deep, timeless histories, and it's still bound to happen. And if I'm being honest, no matter what time in the cycle it is, these Dunks are hideous. I'm not gonna lie, I love the green color, I just don't like the printed on gold 5th grade teacher gave you a sticker for participation stars and the crocodile design on the green leather. Just keep them simple and I'll like them. It doesn't matter what I say though, these are gonna be hype, they're gonna sell out immediately whenever they go on sale. That's it for the leaks, let's get into the sneaker releases. As we come closer to the end of a heartbreaking year, we get a taste of what's to come to fans of the late Kobe Bryant. We get it in the form of 2 sets of sneakers, the Kobe 5 Protro, Bruce Lee, and alternative colorways. Now, I mentioned this before, I haven't been a big proponent of basketball shoes in a long time just because I don't really play ball anymore. I've had a career-ending injury on my left ankle that prevents me from being as athletic as I used to be. At the same time, COVID prevents most of us from getting into any sort of gym anyway, but I've always been a fan of Kobe's Bruce Lee colorways. As a fan of martial arts movies and history, including Bruce Lee, I've always loved seeing those colorways. That doesn't mean I'm gonna buy these or care for these in any way, but in my opinion, these are one of those Kobes that most Kobe fans should be looking forward to. These sneakers are releasing on November 24th for a retail price of $180 and are most likely going to sell out relatively swiftly. Next up, we have the Nike Air Max 1 Powerwall Lemonade. Now, while the Air Max 1 and Air Force 1 have effectively been snubbed this year, most likely because they got way too much attention in the last 2 years, there's still some unique pairs here and there. This happens to be one for the Air Max 1, and I'll be honest, I get it, it's unique and all, but it's just not my cup of tea. And that really sucks because this is a historic pair of sneakers as a callback to Nike's Powerwall collection back in 2006. This release is essentially a retro of that release. It's got this light powdery yellow color representing the hue of fresh lemonade and air text repeated in bubble letters across the upper. There might be a few slight changes or colorway shifts from the original. However, this shoe still is just not for me. But this pair is releasing on November 25th for $140, and while this pair might not be for me, I believe it will sell out relatively quickly. Next up, we have one of the craziest sneaker releases this week. We were all dumbfounded when G-Dragon and Nike gave us the first pair of Air Force 1 Paranoises, but this second pair of Peace -1 x Nike Air Force 1 Low Paranoids are equally as nuts. I mean, it's literally the same concept, but a different colorway. South Korean K-pop icon G-Dragon enters the ring with Nike for a second Air Force 1 Low collaboration. The first pair was black, this pair is white, and since I know I'm not getting these in hand, I'm not gonna wait to get them in hand to do a quick review. Just know the all-white upper is really just a coat of paint that cracks and breaks and wears away as you wear the shoe to reveal an even nuttier colorway. Of course, the shoe has a lot of details to keep you busy while you wait for that top coat to break away, like the flower on the tongue, the paint strokes on the midsole, and the slightly dirty looking midsole looking like you just stepped in a mildly wet floor of paint. Either way, this sneaker is releasing on November 25th for a retail price of $200 and will undoubtedly be hype. It'll sell out ridiculously fast. You know what to do. Just sit there and take it. Next up, this one is a bit of a wild card. We have another Adidas x Human Made collaboration, and while this drop is set as a reminder to how I took an L on Human Made's recent CPFM collaboration, that doesn't mean we can't look past that and just look at this collection right here. First off, we have the Human Made x Adidas Marathon TR, or the Marathon Free Hiker, which markedly doesn't have many Human Made touches aside from the branding on the ankle. But then we have the cooler pair that is the Adidas x Nizza, which has the Human Made hearts repeating on the midsole. Again, not the most innovative collaboration, but Human Made fans can appreciate it. These sneakers are releasing on November 25th in Japan, I believe. I'm not sure about the full global release, but the Nizza will retail for $100 and it will be dead. No hype, but it's a nice pair of sneakers nonetheless. Alright, we're getting down to the wire here. The next release we're looking at is the Adidas Yeezy Boost Onyx 380 and the Onyx 380 Reflective. Adidas and Yeezy have shown no signs of slowing down with their almost weekly releases, and this one is no exception. The Yeezy Boost 380 has sort sort of been a gem of a sneaker in that it satisfies the needs of those who are kind of over the Yeezy 350 right now while providing even more comfort than ever before. It also tones down a bit of that aggressive Yeezy 350 look for an even more streamlined, agile, versatile look. Personally, I'm not really interested in wearing either. It's mostly a black shoe with subtle gray hits, not my style. The reflective Onyx 380 will release in significantly more limited quantities than the regular Onyx 380. The reflective Onyx 380 is releasing on November 27th, while the regular Onyx 380 is releasing on the 28th. Both retail for $250 US. The reflective Onyx is going to be slightly more hype, while the regular Onyx is not going to be hype. Either way, both are going to sell out relatively quickly. Next up, this is probably the most anticipated sneaker release of this week, not just for many others, but also for me. We are getting a re-release of the Air Jordan 4 Fire Red. I personally know a handful of people who've been waiting years for these. A friend of mine has been waiting since the original release, which I don't even remember whenever that was, probably like 10 years ago. The Jordan 4 is already a classic silhouette that I personally thought wasn't getting the love that it deserved until a year to a year and a half back. Now it looks like the Jordan 4 is in full force, and it looks like the Fire Red is fiending to be back in the front lines. While the sneaker won't resell for much, if at all, the Air Jordan 4 Fire Red is releasing on November 28th for $200 US and 300 Canadian dollars and will be hype. Alright, to top it off, finally, we've got the weird sneaker of the week, and this week it's a doozy. For this week's weird sneaker of the week, we've got the Converse X Ambush collab, and while half of the collab is pretty normal, we've got the Converse X Ambush CTAS duck boot. Looks great, nice, black and blue colorways, looks just like you'd hope on feet. The second half of this collab is a brand new Converse X Ambush Chuck 70 high, and boy, what is this? If you thought the Grateful Dead dunks were fuzzy, you missing out. This is another level. I mean, how could they do my boy Cookie Monster like that? It looks like they lopped off his feet and turned them into a sneaker collaboration. Yoon, please return my man's feet back. Imagine waking up on a brand new morning to enjoy a fresh plate of chocolate chip cookies just to find out your feet are gone, son, and somebody is mass producing them for profit. The world is a cruel, cruel place. I honestly don't know who else would wear Cookie Monster's feet on a daily basis, but if you're one of those people, please leave a comment in the comments section so I know to limit my interactions with you. That's it for this week's sneaker leaks and releases. Is there anything you're looking forward to? Remember, you don't have to be buying something to be looking forward to it. If there's anything on this list that I missed that you're looking forward to, let me know in the comments. That's it from me. I'll catch you in the next one. Pixelated is University Blue.